I'm Claire from Created the Ottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In the UK. Thanks for joining me. I've got a lovely little card today, a stand-up card using this beautiful new set that Stampin' Up! Have just released, Butterfly Brilliance. It's the most gorgeous stamp set, and at just £16 you can't go wrong with that. It just does the most beautiful designs. You also can get a die set which has got all the butterflies that exactly match your stamps, as well as a few extra bits like bricks and some other bits and pieces like that. And they also have this coordinating paper which is just gorgeous. Okay, all different size butterflies. There's sort of like a watercolour effect on the paper, and it's just so gorgeous. And look at the other side, equally as lovely. It's really hard to choose which one you're going to use. So today I thought we would concentrate on some of that paper. Okay, so we need to choose one which is going to be a little bit tricky. They also do, one of the sheets of paper actually fits the dies. Let's see if I can find that one. So this one, there is a die in the set that will exactly fit around that, ready for you to die cut, which makes your life so easy because you run it through the machine and this is what you get, the most gorgeous butterflies, and they're ready to use as toppers on your cards. They've obviously got pattern on the back as well, so they're just so beautiful. Look at those. I mean, I can see those just in a frame on their own, just with some dimensionals behind. So we're going to choose one of those to use on our card as well. So let's put those to one side and I'll give you a sneaky peek of the card we're going to make. I made this one earlier and I've just used one of the big butterflies on the front here. It's a stand-up card, so it's 3D. There's room for your private message on the back or your sentiment, but it also folds flat to go in a card. I really like it, and it helps to show off some of the beautiful designer series paper as well. So this time I thought we'd go really out of my comfort zone and use some Bermuda Bay and some Blushing Bride together, because when you get Stampin' Up! Paper, there's always a piece of card in it that tells you what colours are in your paper. So there's loads of colours in this one. Basic Black, Bermuda Bay, Blushing Bride, which is what we're going to use, Calypso Coral, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Pool Party, Mango Melody, Mint Macaroon, Misty Moonlight, Poppy Braids, So Saffron, and of course White. So we need to pick, I'm going to layer those up, but we need to pick some paper. That's actually quite nice because look, that really does match. Maybe we shall go with the first choice. That one's quite nice as well though. Really nice. Oh, Decisions. That one's a bit more orangey looking. That one's really nice. It hasn't got any Blushing Bride in it though, so that would be too much for contrast. Again, this one hasn't got any Bermuda Bay in it, but equally, if I turn them over, you can see there's even more colours this side, so that's quite a nice one. This is beautiful, look at that. I'm really indecisive when it comes, oh look at that. But then that's what I used on that one, look. Can you see it in the background? So I think we're going to go with this one, just because we can. And let's see what we can come up with. So you need not too much card. but let's see if I can go through the sizes with you. You need a piece of your main base card that is 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. Okay, and then on the long side, on the 10 1/2 side, we're going to do some scoring. We're going to score at 1/2 inch. So get rid of that cutting blade. You don't want to cut. And score at 1/2 inch. Then score at 1 3/4. 3 3/4. And 5. Okay. So there's those bits there. You can see all those score lines. And then we need another piece of card in the same colour. Let me just put that out of the way. And this needs to be 5 1/2 by 3. So 3 inches that way by 5 1/2. And again, we need to score at 1/2. Just make sure that that's at 1/2. So we're scoring at 1/2 and then 1 1/2. And that's that piece done. Okay. Now we need to layer it up. I quite like a double layer on this just because it frames the paper and it frames where you're stamping as well. So for the main piece of card, for this piece, you need another layer. You could do it in the same colour or you could do it in a contrasting colour. And this needs to be, oh sorry, I had a bit of a cough then. This needs to be 4 inches by 3 7/8. So it's not quite the whole size of your panel here. You won't need it the whole panel, you're not going to see it. But it's just to fit at the top, so it's 4 inches by 3 7/8. And I also need some designer series paper that is going to be 3 7/8 by 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 is that way. 3 3/4 by, what was it, 3 7/8. So make sure that you cut your paper the right way round, because that is going to layer on there, okay, like that. Now there's also another piece of card that's needed for a section on here, lower down, and that again I'm going to do in pastel, in Blush and Bride, and that is going to be 4 inches by 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 by 4, and then the designer series paper that I need for that is 3 7/8 by 1 5/8. So is this enough? 3 7/8? Oh, not quite. So 3 7/8. 3 7/8 by 1 5/8. Okay, so again, look at where you're cutting on the paper to see what colour is going to go on there. So if I move that back, they're the panels that we're going to stick on there, one at the top and one further down. So I've just put, should we do that bit actually? Let's do that bit first. So we're going to stick the designer series paper to our Blush and Bride square. This is such a beautiful set. I literally haven't stopped playing with it since I got it. There's so many wonderful designers that have just wowed me with their designs. It's hard to come up with something different. But I thought, well, let's try a 3D card. So I've just stuck my designer series paper on to the Blush and Bride, and now I'm just sticking this piece onto the top of my card. So all my score lines are down the bottom, and I'm just sticking this on the top here. Okay, like that. Just do it with your eye that there's a frame all the way round. Now I'm going to burnish my score lines so that I know where to stick my other panel. So that one comes round like that. That one comes round. That one comes round, and then this last little piece here, that's also going to come round, because that is going to make a box at the bottom like that. Now we're not going to stick it down, but I need to know that this fatter piece here, this panel here, is where I am sticking my next piece of designer series paper. So let's do that. Just put some Tombow on because of the wiggle room. Okay, that's going to go about there. I'm not usually a pink girl, so it'll be interesting to see if I really like this when it's done. I'm more a navy or blues or greens. As if you know me, you know that well. Okay. So that's going to go like that. So that's that piece done. We're just going to put that to one side. Now this piece here, this is the bit that goes on the front here. So on this one I used some white, basic white, and I very lightly stamped with the big stamp on the background. So I've got some offcuts that I've done, so I'm thinking I might use that as well on this one. But I don't know if it's too dark. I've also got a layer of this Blushing Bride. So this piece of Blushing Bride that's going to make a nice frame is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then this white piece that's going to go on the front is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. Now, before I stick that on, I'm going to check whether I actually like it or not, because it is quite dark grey. Although it's only basic grey, that actually looks all right. What do you think? So compared to that one, or should I just do it just plain white and just stamp the sentiment? Let's have a look. So I'm going to put a butterfly on the top, the same as this one. Obviously not going to use yellow because that would be too much of a contrast, but there's a couple I could use. This one, for instance, that's quite nice. This one, maybe I could have 2 butterflies, or the pink. Let's have a look. That one sort of matches. That one stands out a bit. That one. I think that one, because that will blend in. I might put one of the other ones around the side though, because look, that's quite nice. Decisions. Okay, let's stick this together. So this time your score lines are at the top, and I'm going to stick this Blushing Bride, no, let's do this first, this white piece to my Blushing Bride, and I am going to use the stamped image. So basically I just stamped on a piece of Whisper White, and then I've cut it up for different cards, and this is a piece that was left over. And luckily for me, you don't need much of a piece for this. Now I'm going to stick that on to the front there as well. I'm actually quite excited to see how it comes out. And that is going on there. Now on my original one, I've stamped straight on there with a sentiment from another butterfly set, Butterfly Gala. Thank you so very much. But if I stamp on there, I think it's going to get lost. So I have a cunning plan. I don't know if you've seen the Many Messages set. Absolutely amazing set. You just stamp everything in one go. There's all my spare bits in there as well. Look, let me show you. So it's one massive stamp. that you stamp all in one go, and then there is a die that goes with it, which I have on this side. Where have I put that? Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, here. And that then die cuts all of them in one go. So if I show you, it's just amazing. Let me get it out so you can see. So there. So it literally die cuts the whole lot in one go. And then what happens is you end up with all of these sentiments ready to go. I've actually got a little box that I put them all in, but these are a few extra ones that I did this morning, so they're still in there. So I can choose one of those sentiments to go on my card. Now, we shall do that afterwards, so I'm not going to worry about stamping a sentiment now. I'm going to burnish these lines, and then we'll start to put the card together, because there's a little knack of how to put it together. So I've got this bit not stuck down, and I've got this bit. Okay, what you need to do is fold this flat like that, and this bit you're going to fold flat. Okay, and what you're aiming to do is line up the top of here with the top of your card and get it in the centre as well, but you need to stick it down. So this little bit here, put some double-sided tape on, or some of this Tombow glue, whichever you prefer. Make sure it's flat, press that down, line that up again. Okay, and when you're happy, because you've got a bit of wiggle room, you're just going to hold that in place for a moment until it's stuck. Just check. So the only bit that's stuck is that back piece there, okay? But when it folds flat, it's like that. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is this little piece here, this tab here, you want to glue that next. So again, I've put some Tombow glue for wiggle room. I've made sure that that's facing up. I've folded it over. So same position that it was in just now. I'm just going to hold that in place, and then all that should be stuck is that back tab bit. So that gives you that shape. And then the last bit is you need to put a little bit of glue along this edge, just a little bit, or some double-sided tape, because you want it to all stay together. So again, make sure that that's in place there, and press down on this bottom piece. Just hold it for a couple of seconds, and that is your card done. So, which butterfly was we going to put on it? Was it that one? And maybe that one? Or was it that one? And that one, maybe. Oh, the choices. Maybe that one and that one. Don't know, I feel like I need a pink one on there because of the pink paper. Like that. Okay, now let's choose one of those sentiments. So, see if I can find one. So there's quite a few different ones in here. I'm happy to celebrate the moments with you. Remember, you don't want it to come off the edge of your card. Look, we could have that there. That's quite nice. Oh, what about this? Just saying hello. Oh, that's actually really nice. I think I'm going to do that. I like to give out cards, and just saying a hello is for any reason, isn't it? Right, let's stick these. So I've got some bits of dimensionals. Now I'm just going to fold the wings up either side of the body like that. Stick some dimensionals in the middle, or some offcuts of dimensionals actually, because I like to use all the edgy bits. Okay, and that was going to go, is it there? Let's have a look. That just makes my butterfly 3D. So I'm just using my thumbnail to bend either side of the body, and then that gives me a flat base there. And I need another bit just to stick on there. And that's just the edge around the dimensional. So I'm not using a whole dimensional, just a bit. And that's going to go there. Ah, no, that's not going to go in the card, is it? Let's see if I can get that off. Shouldn't have pressed. Ooh. Okay. That's going to overlap, but that's okay. Okay. And then my hello, just saying hello. I need another dimension for that. And that's going to go along there, and I'm just putting it on one side because I want it to overhang here. And that is my card done. So 2 stand-up cards with the Butterfly Brilliance set. I actually love them. I even like this one, even though I'm not a pink girl. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and get in touch if you want to order anything. Bye.